Hello.
Hi, Michael. I'm going to sort of put you on the stage and turn off my camera. So this is a session on the unsolved problem, Android 7 and the Charles Proxy.
Great. Thank you very much. Yeah, so hi, everyone. This is a open discussion about what some of you may know has been a problem for us for a long time, which is how to check the data, so the network traffic and requests being sent from your Android 7 and above, well, being sent from your apps since Android 7 and above. And I guess so. Just maybe a really quick intro is that before Android 7, you could use a technique called man in the middle, and this is where you install a certificate on your Android phone. You connect your phone to a program called Charles Proxy, and Charles Proxy is an example of a man in the middle technology. And then any traffic from your phone application can be sent or proxied through your laptop, and then your laptop can read all of the traffic. So this is called packet sniffing. So on your laptop, you could see all of your Google Analytics or your Adobe Analytics or all the network requests. And so you could ensure that the correct data was being sent through. But since Android 7 update, the security was increased, and it made it impossible for this technique to work. So I'm wondering if anyone in the room has experienced or has run into this problem. If you have, just maybe send a thumbs up or a clap or a smile emoji in the chat console. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So I guess then the next question is, has anybody found a way around it? Because I think I have. I haven't invented it. I just found it. But I'm just wondering if anyone else has found it. And if anyone has, then please put your hand up and we can discuss it. No hands raised. So I will share my screen. Well, actually, before I share my screen, just talk you through. And well, basically, the credit does go to the Charles Proxy team. This is definitely not in any way an observed point achievement. But quite bluntly, on the Charles Proxy website, there are now a set of instructions which tell you exactly what to do to enable man-in-the-middle proxying to work again on Android 7 and above applications. The key thing here is that it's very hard to do this as an external consultant. Actually, the application itself needs to be edited. So what you need to do is actually ask the Android app development team to add 2 files into the code of the application. And what these 2 files and these few lines of code actually do is they override the Android default security, and it tells the application to allow certificate authorities from outside the app. So the specific line, which is really useful here, is here. Certificate source equals user. So this tells the application that it is explicitly allowed to accept certificates, so CA certificates from the user downloads. And this then enables man-in-the-middle techniques to work again. So this will actually work for Charles Proxy, Fiddler as well, and Observe Point's own Live Connect. So that's it's really simple to do. I've tried it myself. I have downloaded Android Studio. I have been messing around with a test application. So we know it works, and I think there's probably one person that I know who's actually achieved this. Okay, am I sharing my screen? Oh, sorry, I meant to share my screen. All right, I'm going to repeat what I just said. Sorry about that. So I'm here. The credit for this goes to the Charles Proxy team. What we can see here on the Charles Proxy website is documentation for what to do to edit your Android application. So you've got to put in a change request or a ticket to your Android development team and ask them to add 2 files to the code. So one of them is res XML network security config XML. And that file should contain this exact code. And what this code does is it tells the application to accept certificates from the user certificate store. Since Android 7, by default, the user certificate store is basically ignored by applications, at least. And then they need to add also a few more lines of code into the Android manifest. But in effect, once you have completed these 2 simple steps, or more accurately, once your Android developers have completed these 2 simple steps, then any man-in-the-middle proxy will work. So this means we've essentially turned back the clock, and we can continue to use man-in-the-middle Charles and Fiddler and Observe Point's Live Connect on Android apps as well. Interestingly, for all of the talk, iPhones are still not affected by such an issue. So that is, that's probably a question as well. Cool. So now I will stop. I love that telescoping inception effect as well. So yeah, I mean, this was really just, this is an open discussion. Is anybody in a situation where they thought that it was impossible, or where they have executed on what I've just shown? And I'm just looking through the chat window here as well. Okay, so we got Onda. You said that, I hope I'm saying your name right, Onda. You tried this, but the client developer did not give you a response. Yeah, they need to be in a position of trust to respond to your requests. It's worth mentioning that this change can be implemented only in the debug version of the application. So if you can raise a ticket, if you can get the project manager or the product owner to agree with you that this is a requirement and it can be put onto the backlog for the team, then that's really the only way to do it, and also to assure them that it's not a security problem. Okay. Oh yeah, and thanks, Phil, for sharing the link in the chat window and also the code. Okay, so yeah, and in terms of sort of man-in-the-middle proxies, there is obviously Charles, Marius, use that with Android Studio, excellent. Yep. So Charles Proxy, the way that works is that your laptop becomes the proxy. There's another one called Fiddler, which is a direct competitor. So Fiddler, also the laptop, becomes a proxy as well. There's a project on GitHub called Browser Mob Proxy, and Browser Mob Proxy is more of a software that you can actually install on your servers, and then you can actually connect that to a Selenium test. So anyone who wants to do packet sniffing on their Selenium scripts or their Appium scripts can use Browser Mob Proxy. And then there is also Observe Point's solution called Live Connect, and this is similar. It's a man-in-the-middle proxy on the cloud, but and this goes back to a conversation that I think Juan and Marius we had earlier in the day. The ability to send testing from an automated the ability to send traffic from an automated testing platform through a cloud proxy. So you can actually connect your Appetize tests or your Appium or your Selenium scripts and automatically send that traffic into Live Connect for Observe Point. So that is a very scalable option as well. Okay, so let's open the floor. Does anybody have anything to add? No questions, nothing in the chat. Cool. Okay, great. Well, if you do want to learn more or want to just discuss the topic in general more, please do come and find me, just hanging around the general room. But otherwise, we can cut this session short.
I was going to say, if anyone wants to kind of raise their hand and being put on the stage, just press the raise hand button. Oh, Julian, I'm going to make you on stage, add stage.
Hi, Mike. Phil. Yeah, well, as you were mentioning our previous conversation with Marius, and I think that the point is, yes, having certain level of automation regarding the app QA. It's true that we did not have enough testing regarding, for instance, appetites, or for sure also with your proxy, that it looks very interesting also. But the main question is that probably some built-in solutions in the cloud are solving the issue. And if your outcome is to get more automation, probably it's like, well, for instance, if you want to scale a regular application, a regular website, a cloud solution it can be very helpful. So that would be the same approach to get the best scalability possible. And it looks interesting that you have developed a cloud solution for proxy, this kind of testing. But also I think that probably infrastructure cloud solutions can provide this service also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a comment.
Yeah, no, it's right. It's interesting. So, like, we have, as I mentioned, there's the automated testing, like the Appiums, the Appetize, the browser stacks, but most of them don't currently allow you to assert on MarTech and network traffic payloads. So that's really why these products exist, right? You can check that the app runs, the functionality, the assertions, they all work fine in Appium, Selenium. It's the ability to assert data acceptance criteria on the network traffic and the payloads that is missing from all of these existing providers. And you're right, in terms of the scalability, that's why people are asking for more than just Charles or just Fiddler. So that's why, as I mentioned, Browser Mob Proxy, ObservePoint Live Connect are two alternative options as well.
Well, regarding specifically Appetize, that I'm not a salesperson of Appetize, but regarding this particular platform, they have a built-in proxy, so you can get the traffic. But it's true that you get, well, the network requests. It's a batch request when it's regarding.
Oh, so do they provide the proxy? Do they simply provide the user experience to enter the IP address and the port? But do they provide also the actual server?
Yeah, they provide you the requests that were sent.
Oh, cool. Okay, great.
From the IP to the entire request, so you can. But it's sent in batch, so yeah. you need to then find a way to parse the batch and divide it on the page views. Otherwise, you cannot see it. And anyway, there will be another phase that is, well, I need to check these rules, so I need to extract the network request and analyze it and so on. So probably your solution is actually managing this part, because it will do it automatically.
So how are you currently, so you're saying that from Appetize you can already send the data. How do you assert, does Appetize allow you to have assertions and rules on the network?
No, it does not allow you to have the rules. That will be something that you need to develop from your side. It is something that we are interested as a company in develop our own strategy. With this provider or with other one, but
so before you develop your own, we also have a solution called the half file ingester, so we can actually import the HTTL archive. Does that sound like something that would be interesting, like to meet your requirements? Because we can just eat the data and parse it and then assert the data requirements.
Yeah, in fact, we as part of our business strategy, we want to develop our own solution, because we are going to offer it to other clients. But it's true that, well, for instance, regarding Appetize, it even allows you to download an HR file, and that I think that it would be a good point to start with the analysis, because it's something that you can parse, and it's the same thing that when you are downloading an HR file of a regular browser.
Yeah, exactly. Browser. And HAR files are even easier because there's no certificate, no emulation. Well, there's emulation.
Nothing.
There's no editing the application. So HAR files really are a great way to for standardization of of this process, basically. Yeah.
Yes, for sure. I understand that you're currently analyzing this kind of files also.
Yeah, exactly.
We've got 10 minutes left in this room, so if anyone else has a question, just press raise your hand, and I'll put you on the stage. I think everyone's gone shy. Mike, a question for you. Is there how much is there a detailed guide that explains? Obviously, we've sort of put a link from the Charles Proxy. Is there a video that explains the process to set up this configuration?
I haven't found one. I did record one myself about a couple of weeks ago, but let me edit that down to a more reasonable size. It is basically an hour-long meeting recording rather than an actual training video.
Okay, and also, when did Android introduce this change? When did it stop working from?
Years ago. Okay. We're talking about 6 or 7 years ago. I mean, what Android version are we on now? 13, 12, 14? But I think we're pretty much talking 7 years ago. So it's been a problem. That's why this session is called the unsolved problem, because for the last X number of years, I haven't heard about anyone getting around this Android SSL problem until the solution I ran into by accident, actually, about a month ago. 12 is to be released soon. So we're talking about five Android releases ago. Yeah. So, does that answer your question, Phil?
Yes. Yeah, and I'm just trying to think when I haven't done an Android setup for a little while, actually. So okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any questions, but maybe the audience do. There is a Q&A feature. Mike, is there an email address that people can sort of contact you at if they've got further questions?
Yeah, sure. Shall I do that, or shall I post it somewhere?
If you put it in the chat window, or if there's a blog or your Twitter handle, if you stick that in there, and then people can sort of follow you and ask further questions sort of offline.
I'm famously old tech. I don't have a Twitter handle that I remember logging for. I'll just put in my email address into the chat window. There we go.
Great. Cool. All right. We've got about 10 minutes left before 10 minutes, 25 minutes, so exactly 10 minutes before the end of the session, and there's a break in between. We can end the session now unless you have any other sort of further questions to ask, or any other tips and tricks you want to mention.
Nope, nothing more really.
Cool. All right. Thanks, Mike, for sharing that sort of golden nugget, and hopefully people it sort of saves them time when they encounter that same sort of problem. All right. Cheers for that.
Thanks.
I'm just going to stop the session now.
Bye.